This is the first time it happened like that, and actually, this thing came how it originated when I was doing Pansing Tomar. We did, Pansing Tomar, and UTV supported us, and that's the first time UTV gave us money for research, because we don't have any culture of research. कोई सब्जेक्ट आया तो अब क्या सब्जेक्ट क्या है, सब्जेक्ट ये है, अच्छा बनाओ फिल्म। नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये सब्जेक्ट ऐसा है, इस पर रिसर्च करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज बेस्ड ऑन अ रियल लाइफ कैरेक्टर and nobody knows him. You can't even Google him because नाम ही गायब है। 2 बार नेशनल चैंपियन, और उसका नाम ही नहीं है नेट पे। तो रिसर्च के लिए वी आर लुकिंग फॉर दैट, यूट्यूब रियली सपोर्टेड अस एंड दे गेव अस मनी, एंड बहुत मेहनत के बाद वॉट एवर उठा पटक के साथ फिल्म बना, एंड देन इट गॉट स्टक, एंड देन आई फेल्ट अ काइंड ऑफ हेल्पलेसनेस, नॉट मी, द होल टीम, डायरेक्टर, कि यार हमने ये सब किया, एंड देन वी वांटेड टू बाय द फिल्म एंड वी शोड इट टू सर्टेन पीपल हु वांटेड टू बाय इट, बट देन अगर किसी की प्रॉपर्टी है, वो बेचना चाहे नहीं बेचना चाहे, सो दैट हेल्पलेसनेस मेड मी फील दैट आई शुड हैव एटलीस्ट अ से, कि यार मुझे अगर रिलीज़ करना है फिल्म, मैंने मेहनत किया है, आपने मुझे पैसा दिया मेहनत का, लेकिन एटलीस्ट आई शुड हैव अ राइट टू शेयर इट विद द ऑडियंस. So that time this thought generated that I should have a kind of a control, this much that the film should be seen. So धीरे धीरे हालात बनते से बनते हैं, and this idea came to us, and we kept contemplating about it, exploring the idea. Then we brought in Ritesh Shah. He loved the idea. He was affected with the idea in the same manner the way we were affected. And he said, yeah, this should be made. This should be shared with the audience. So he wrote it. When he wrote it, then I thought, I could feel the impact of that. And I still remember when he narrated me for the first time, I had goosebumps. And that was a sign that, this film should be made. Then we started looking for the director. The first director which came in our mind was Nishikant, and we went to him, and even he, liked the subject the way we were. He felt like as if he has, it's his story. So that's how So game पलट गया, जमूरा जो है मदारी बन गया, मदारी जमूरा बन गया. So that's how it happened. Again, this because this film is not a regular Hindi commercial film drama. It is a film which I will call a new commercial cinema, which is happening since 2, 3, 4 years, but it's not regular. So it was difficult for us to convince corporate. Corporate में एक आदमी तो होता नहीं है जिससे आप बात करते. There's so many people in that, so most of the time what happens, the corporate sees the package, कि इस पैकेज की कितनी वैल्यू है. They don't understand sometimes the potential, it's paper पे you can't see the potential, but they can't imagine sometimes. So we thought that let's make ourselves, and then we'll take to the corporates. So instead of wasting time and going from one corporate to another corporate, we decided that we'll raise the money and we'll make on our own. So Shailesh, then my part was over as a producer. Then I was not involved. Then Shailesh came in. Then he raised the money, and then the ball was in his court. Very very conscious of the budget, because आपकी फिल्म की एक रिकवरी है, एक उसका पैटर्न है, so you should be very careful about it. And sometimes what happens, there are subjects which could be brilliant subject and you can have a biggest superstar, but the subject itself doesn't have that mass appeal, so even that becomes a mistake. So the subject and the budget, it should have a kind of correlation. If this I can give you an example, but I don't know whether this is Guzarish. Guzarish was a very beautiful subject, but I don't think it had that mass appeal where you could put, 100 crores on that film. If that film could have been made in 30-40 crores, because subjects, it has its limitations. Or let's say, Heather. You can't make Heather in 100 crores. You have to keep the budget intact. So that is very, very important. It is, and I don't get into it, in the recovery and selling and all that. I don't get into it. That's why you need a partner on whom you can rely. It is, and I don't know what difficulties he must be facing while raising the money. So I'm not aware, but I think it sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's easy. Logic is not the right word, because logic is logic has its mathematics. 2 plus 2 is 4. But the performance has nothing to do with logic. It has to encompass the whole mystery of it. It's an instinct. And instinct is not logical. Instinct is something which is, it's mysterious. So I approach my character not by logic. Because when I came out from drama school, I had a tendency to be very logical and analyze things. अगर इसने ये कहा है तो ये कैसे कह सकता है, अगर ऐसा हुआ है तो वैसा कैसे हो सकता है. And because we were groping, we were exploring, we were trying to understand the craft. So the first thing which became a kind of way to analyze the character was logic. But it used to limit up to a certain, it has its limit. Logic has a limit, and that's why I never liked my performances when in initial days. I used to see the mathematics. ऐसा किया तो वैसा किया. So I like performances when the mathematics is gone. You don't see the craft. The craft is gone somewhere else. It's just it happens, and how it happens, why it happens, you don't know, and you don't want to know. Sometimes when people say, how do you approach your character and how do you work on a character, what is the formula? Because in India we don't have a tradition of realistic acting, and there is no method to it. In Western countries there is a method, there are techniques, you can follow, you can work through that technique and reach to a point. But in India we don't have. Our cinema is influenced by Parsi theatre. It came out of Parsi theatre. So we used to depend on melodrama, and that's why there's a fantasy element in our film. It also in sync with our culture. We have a celebratory culture. We celebrate everything. Sometimes we celebrate death as well. Our gods are dancing with copia and all that. So we have a celebratory culture and this fantasy element. So we don't have a method where we can really and we haven't developed it. So for me it's basically a trial and error. So I don't have a technique really. I just know, and for every character I have to find a new way to get into. And sometimes the characters are less demanding. They are like ready. Please एक बार मेरी तरफ पलट के देखो मैं आता हूँ. It's like that. It's just मैं इधर नजर मारो मैं आ जाऊँगा. Some characters are some stories are very they are detached. They want your effort. and you have to put a lot of effort to see their face. दिखाओ तो सही सूरत कैसे हो तुम, you know. So ऐसा time लगता है कुछ में. तो then you find ways. Every time you have to find a new way, and again that's an instinct. You never know how will I be able to see through, you know, what is there. Sometimes it's there in the paper, but it's not coming. Like Piku, when I read the script, I loved the script. But there was a great flow in music and the lines and the behavior. You can smell the character, but still, you know, I was thinking, yeah, it's not coming to me. Then I felt the need to have a narration from Juhi, and that really helped me. The character was not demanding, the story was demanding. It was always difficult, it tested us. All the time it tested us. Either वो उसका climax हो, चाहे वो उसका title हो, चाहे उसका structure हो. Every day Nishi used to be little, you know, बोलता था कि यार आधी सेट पे लगता है कैसे होगा यार, क्या होगा. So we never know because the structure is not regular, so you never know how it's going to fall in place. And certain films are like that. Like I still remember Life of Pi was such film. वो बनते हुए लोगों को लग रहा था यार क्या होगा इसका, बनने के बाद भी लग रहा था क्या होगा. स्क्रीनिंग हो गई न्यूयॉर्क में, एंड स्क्रीनिंग वाज अ हिट. स्टिल वी वर हैविंग डाउट्स कि यार क्या होगा इसका. Then when the film got released and people started reacting, and then now we know that now the film has really, you know, showed its face what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't reveal itself. So the structure was such that we were always on the toes and we never know what's happening, how it's going to fall in place. So similarly, the climax didn't come to us. We kept on working, and the film आधी shoot हो गई, location book है, shoot होना है, but the climax is not ready. So पूरा cancel करना पड़ रहा है आपको. फिर आप सोच चले गए, फिर introspect कर रहे हैं आप. Films पे work कर रहे हैं. Then me, Ritesh and Nishi, you know, all three came up with few ideas, and then it came fall into place. And then we were worried about the title. I kept on asking Ritesh, yeah, title. Then didn't come. Anything didn't come. Halfway through, then one night I decided that, you know, आज रात में पूरा जागूंगा, जो करना है करूँगा, चाहे मतलब I could go, you know, चाहे high होके चाहे जो भी होके, you know, I have to find something. So that night I dedicated, and I had 8 to 10 titles that night, and I shared these titles with Nishi. Nishi takes time. मदारी कैसा है यार, और भी दिए थे मुझे, मैंने उसको अच्छे जो अभी कोई और बना रहा है. तो he said मुझे 2 दिन दो. Then he said, yeah, Madaari.